Hey, I just want to do a quick video for you guys to answer the questions that we didn't get to today. So the first one is, what's the best way to gain information about the people who are consuming your free content? For instance, what's the best way to determine if they are your ideal client? So I'm especially sorry that I didn't get to this one because I would have asked a clarifying question, which is, do you mean free content like stuff that's on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram? Or do you mean free content like some other sort of free offer? So feel free, if this was your question, feel free to follow up with me directly. Just hit reply to the email. But I will answer with a couple of just general thoughts in the hopes that this will answer your question, which is, if you're talking about free content, meaning social media, each social media platform has insights and analytics and data that you can use to look at those people. But you're specifically saying, how do I know if they're my ideal audience, my ideal client? And I think that can be really, really hard. If you are serving a business, then your life is easier because you can click on the people who are liking and commenting on your stuff. You can click on their profile and see who they are, right? And so hopefully, like for me, I serve businesses, and so I can click, and somebody likes my thing, I can click on their profile and find out, oh, they are all in fact a business. They're not some, like creepy man or something. So you can get that data if you're serving businesses. If you're serving individuals, yeah, I mean, you don't really know who's looking at your stuff. And so I find that information to be helpful, but I don't know that it's answering your question. So I guess the other thing that I would say is, if you're putting out an offer that is free, so some sort of download, PDF download, checklist of something, for example, based on your expertise, or in my case, I give free sessions, but I also do these free events. In order for anybody to sign up for these, they have to provide me with their email address. Now, that's not always going to tell me what I want to know about them, but it at least gives me the opportunity to then look at the data inside my email platform, which then tells me how often are they clicking on the links, or are they even opening the emails? Those kinds of pieces of data I find to be very helpful in terms of they may or may, it's not going to really give you the information about are they your ideal client, but it will at least be able to give you the information about tracking their behavior. So I hope that's helpful. If there's another way that if I didn't answer your question, just shoot me a reply back. Okay, so that was one question we didn't get to. How to not appear salesy on free calls and turn people off. I think we did cover that. How many times to email after they receive a download? After they receive, a free download. I feel slimy when people send me a daily email for a week. Yeah, I completely agree. I think I did get to this, but I just wanted to sort of quickly answer this again because we were running out of time. If you're sending somebody a free download, I always like to have that email that includes the download, say, hi, here's a little bit about me, maybe pull something from your welcome email when they join your email list or something like that, that tells you hi, this is who I am and what I do, what I believe in, or whatever, along with that, so that they at least know that they're getting a human, right? Share that download. And then, yes, I do think it's nice to have, we talked about this for just a brief minute on the call, to have some sort of automated process where it automatically sends them, maybe 2 more emails saying, hi, I hope you looked at it. Let me know if you have any questions. Here's some next steps, like a free, call to discuss your learnings, or here's what one single session with me would cost, or here's my free masterclass on this topic if you want to learn more, whatever the next thing is, right? Or maybe you have a paid workshop they can come to on this topic, whatever the next step is. And I think that's the other piece that we talked about in the customer journey at the end, whatever that next step can be for them to increase their relationship with you, that can go in those emails. But specifically that question was about how many times to email them. I agree, sending a daily email for a week for most people is overkill. I think 1 or 2 emails a week is great. And I do think, number one, people are busy. So sending them more than 1 email is always helpful because they are busy, right? And so probably they're not going to read all of them. So if you send 1 when they ask for the download, and 2 follow-ups as 3 emails. Like, they might just read 1, and that's okay, and that's great, right? So then you're not feeling like you're bothering them. You're feeling like you're just making sure that you're getting the information to them, and that you're letting them know about the follow-up, and then, what the next steps are. And then the other thing is, people are busy, so let's not bombard them, right? And so I think there's no hard and fast rule. That's just my general feel in general. That's a nice way to do it. 3 feels good to me. But it's definitely, you got to take that with a grain of salt and then adjust it for your audience, what you know about your people, what your product is or your service or your freebie is, and you may need to adjust from there. I hope that makes sense. Okay, and then there was another question about a course. I really, really love the idea, and somebody had mentioned this in the comments as well, but I did not get a chance to say this. So somebody had said, like, they had a free course, or they had a course, and they were wondering what their sample could be. I absolutely love the idea of, and have seen this work really, 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 really well, where if you have a course, if somebody's considering buying your course, offer, for example, the first module for free. Right? So that they get something, they learn something, they're like, yeah, this stuff is real. And then they're happy to buy the next piece. And that same can just be like a free download, right? Or the follow-up email to purchase the actual course, as an example. But I really love that. If you've already recorded your course and you're feeling like, yeah, dude, there's only 2 modules, or there's only 3 modules, and like, no, I'm not giving that away for free if that's too much. Then another thing that I've seen work really well is same idea, but just recording I don't want to call it an intro, but recording a video or recording an added piece to the course that can serve as this free download. So give them a piece of value though, right? We're giving them value. So we do want to teach them something. So choose a takeaway that's in your course, maybe a theme, that you can, let's just call it a theme that you can share with them that demonstrates to them that there's real value in this course, and it's worth, 10 times what you're going to pay for it or whatever. Let them know the value of it. So give them something, teach them something. And then also let it be a feed, or give them something, but then leave them wanting more in a short video where it's like, you can download this video or this audio or whatever that would make sense for your course, where they will learn a piece of something, right? And then it's a very easy, companion piece or next step to go ahead and purchase the whole course. And then the final question that I wanted to respond to was about the Facebook group. I really love a Facebook group. I ran a Facebook group for many years. I find that it's about the audience, and we talked about this on the call. So number one, the way I answered that on the call, I would definitely test that out with your audience. So check and see, are there other Facebook groups with this topic, and are they active? Are people doing it? Because Facebook, any platform isn't for everybody. And so I would just test that out. But if that's an easy thing to test, go look at your competitors. The second thing I would say with Facebook groups, and I'm happy to discuss this with you further, but I think the thing about Facebook groups is it really does create a space for community. I think you have to have some thought processes around, what is my strategic purpose here? So if it's about creating community, that's great. Make sure that you are providing something to share your expertise with them, so that it gives them either a sample or an indicator of what you do, and that you're continuing to sell to that group. So that could be weekly lives. That's what I used to do. I used to do weekly lives inside that Facebook group. With my networking community, which this could kind of be similar to, what I normally do, it's mostly a community for people to connect, but I make sure that I take care of my business as I run the group. So at the beginning of the call, and about 2/3 of the way through the call, I make a point to spend a few minutes talking about what I do and letting them know about any special offers that I have, so that I'm still making offers as a part of that group, even though it's a community, it's a place for people to grow their network. It's I'm being of service, and I am also taking care of my business and making sure that I'm still selling. And so I think finding your balance within that will help you then create that free offer. And frankly, then it's also a really, really fantastic place to do some market research. Test stuff out, test out your content, put polls and questions in there, ask people to give you feedback on what they want to learn next. It's a great way. I really loved using my Facebook group for that, and people were happy to answer because it was a give and take, and it was an interaction. So there's a lot of ways that you can do that, but I think that's a great one. Whether that's and for anybody, like whether it's a Facebook group or a networking community or a community on another platform, these are all different kinds of ways. There's lots of different ways that you can slice that and make it work for you. And it can be a slice or a sample, like the chocolate croissant thing. And it also can be a space, right? A space to create community, right? Just like my networking group. People can absolutely come and work with me because they get to know me over the course of being a part of that community. And so that isn't really a sampling of my work, but it is an opportunity for people to deepen that relationship. And I think that's just as important. And so we talked a lot about that today with the sampling, and there's a lot of free offers like a community, for example, that's it's a little bit different from the sample, but I find that it also really works well when you're being super strategic about it, and it can also just be a lot of fun. And so I hope that helps. Okay, I think I've answered all the questions. If I missed a question, please send me an email back, and I will get an answer to you. Okay, thanks for joining, everybody.